Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chin. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Ordinals the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be awesome, guys, because we have Bitcoin just about $97,000. I mean, guys, we're 3% away from that 100K. And when we pass that 100K this time, we're going to fly up, guys. We might have a little resistance touching it, maybe come back down to where we are now, and then full on blast off, guys. We are about to head into an amazing month. And, guys, it's May 1st. New month. New me. That's what Bitcoin said, right? So really excited to kind of see the way this month plays out. Will it be a buy in May and go away? I think so. I think this summer is going to be very bullish. I think this summer is going to be different than a lot of summers. I remember me and Yagobi were talking about last summer, and it was dead. Previous summer, completely dead. But just it doesn't always repeat itself, right? So we're going to eventually get a bullish summer, and I think it's going to be this one. I think we maybe cool off in the fall, have an amazing Q4, and amazing Q1, and maybe Q2 of next year, guys. This is a long super cycle, in my opinion. We're going to get Bitcoin at numbers that you can't even imagine. I say numbers like 700K and people are blown away. Like, you're nuts. It's possible, guys. It's possible. We got nation states buying. We have cities buying. We have countries buying. Guys, this is going to be absolutely amazing year. And I'm excited. And the show today, pretty damn good. I mean, we're going to be talking about virtuals, right? If you are a fan of AI, virtuals is something that took your attention last January. And we kind of want to look back. We haven't really peeked over there at all. We kind of want to look back and kind of see what's going on over there. Kind of at least grow our knowledge of everything that's happening. But our main focus is the Bitcoin ecosystem. But without further ado, let's bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How you feeling today? 97K, baby. How you feeling?
Feeling great. I told you guys, I said, I don't worry when Bitcoin is having a red candle day, because I know where we are in the cycle, the catalysts that are coming up. And hey, got to give credit where credit is due. Colin Talks Crypto said May 1st, and May 1st is looking pretty good. We just crossed over the $97,000 mark just now live. And so I'm excited, man. There's a lot of stuff happening. Yes, there's a lot of builders in Dubai, but we're still, talking to different builders. There's a lot of building happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem, a lot of drama, right? From the OG Maxi laser eyes, and then the new builders, right? So we'll get into that later as well. Just an exciting show for today. I'm pumped.
Yeah, man. Just a reminder, next Wednesday, May 7th, 2 p.m. FOMC. So put that on your calendar. I think that's going to be a day that could be really, really big. I don't know, man. I'm feeling a rate cut, but let's kind of jump into today's topic here. Bitcoin April close was 94,181. V-shaped recovery, says my man Plan B. Let's take a look at the stock to flow. I'm always a huge fan of Plan B. You guys know that, but this is it right here. You're seeing a V-shaped recovery. He says a V-shaped recovery is what normally starts the epic bull run, and we've seen it here. We've seen it back here, though, right? Well, I don't know if you call this a V. This is more of a, I don't know what you call it, backwards, like a J, right? This is more like a V. So, we're gonna see potentially next month, dude. I'm thinking we're gonna be up here. We're eventually gonna get this spacing. We're eventually gonna get some spacing. I think it's gonna be somewhere up here, but it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be amazing.
It is going to be glorious. And I do think May is going to be a really strong month for Bitcoin's price action, right? In May 1st was that date that I think things get kicked off, and we're seeing it now. Yes, it happened. It got kicked off last week, but like today, just this price action is just beautiful. We're seeing the momentum that, Bitcoin's heading in. And possibly new all-time highs this month. We'll see. I know that's another, you have to jump up another probably like 20,000. But hey, who knows? We are in a month to kind of kick things off aggressively, and then we have June, and then possibly parts of July as well.
20,000 is only 14%.
Yeah,
I mean that's nothing for Bitcoin. That's a day for Bitcoin, right? We've seen days like that in the past. 20K isn't what 20K used to be. 20, when Bitcoin was 45,000 and 20K, that's half the market cap. Now, man, that's just a
14% is a pretty big jump. It's a pretty big jump. I think even when Bitcoin jumps 5%, people are like, "Oh, that's a big day." But look, it's possible for sure. We've seen it. Last week it jumped up 10K, right? So,
yeah. Yep. Bob Lucas, somebody that we both admire, he had a nice tweet this morning. He says, "Nice weekly close for Bitcoin. Confirms a new weekly cycle. In a 4-year bull market uptrend, we should be resuming the bull trend with this confirmation." So he's kind of waiting until Sunday. He's saying last week's close was nice, but he's waiting to see what this one closes. And if it closes above this red line, he's saying bull run's back on. We're back on, and we can continue up to the next level. So if you can see here, he has this one right here, 13th week, 31st week. So it's kind of hitting all of his targets just like it did last time, right? And then the next thing is that green arrow. He's saying we should get that potentially, on this candle right here, and then it could take us to Valhalla, baby.
yeah, and this is happening when, people are complaining constantly on the news about the U.S. economy and all this blah, blah, blah. Like Bitcoin's been ignoring that because it's saying, hey, look, money supply's here. We are going up. We've just been kind of stagnant with a downtrend the first quarter of this year. It's time to ramp things up. So there's no reason, in my opinion, why we shouldn't cross over that red dotted line.
Yeah, man. I think so. I think we're gonna hit it this week. I think this week is gonna be a real big week, especially going into the FOMC next week. I think this is gonna be very bullish. People are gonna be putting their bets in. I think their bets are gonna be long. So, jump into the next thing here. Bitcoin forming an accumulation structure, says Crypto Quant. So, Crypto Quant, if you know who they are, they are deep research platform, right? You can do a lot of really cool stuff there. But they're actually calling this right here and seeing what happens. Boom. And this was back in 2024. And they're kind of seeing the same thing happen again in October, which rampaged up, boom, in early 2025. And they're seeing it again. They're circling it here again, which potentially means we're going to be flying up here. Does this get you any more bullish on another chart?
Yeah, it makes me feel like a trend is about to form or replicate, right, from previous historical trends. And so I'm just ready. I'm ready for the summer. I do agree with you completely that we are in the opposite of sell and may go away. I think we are in this kind of, I think it's going to be a Bitcoin Renaissance summer, fun with like all other alts too. I think Tao's going to have their like kind of emerging time, and you have Sui getting a lot of attention. So there's a lot of stuff happening, but for me personally, I see a lot of stuff happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem, but the summer's going to be fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The summer's going to be fun.
100%. And let's check on our boy Colin, right? So, we're probably one of the first channels to talk about this from Colin, right? Colin actually put it out. I saw it the first day he put this out. We've been talking about it now for over 2 months. And, it's like back here. It was like back here when we saw it, right? And now we're sitting here and we are about to head up here, guys. This looks phenomenal, just like it looked like 2 months ago. We're finally here. First he had the 108 day, right? And then he came out with the 77 day. And now he's kind of in the middle of that. I think this is the 80 day, right? So it is on an upward trend here. This one looks phenomenal. I'm ready, bro. I think, according to this is June, bro. June is looking like 128K. I mean, it's 30%.
I was saying that yesterday. I was saying, I feel comfortable with on the very low conservative end, which would be a little disappointing, 115. But on that more hyper aggressive 145 to 160, possibly higher. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that we can feel very confident in is Bitcoin is following that M2 money supply. We saw it last fall. Now we're seeing it happen again. And this is just good. We all deserve this. I know that sounds entitled, but the people that have been here,
we dealt
people
with
that,
a terrible.
Yeah, exactly. The people that have been here and have soldiered on the Q1 of 2025, it's been opposite of where our expectations been, right? So now we are enjoying all of that patience and stuff, and it's just kicking off. We're going to see how high this thing goes. Right now, Bitcoin's definitely aggressive. It's already the 97,400 here. We'll see how high it goes today.
Yeah, and we're about to enter, at least the quantitative pause from the tightening. We're about to enter, rate cutting cycle. I mean, the Fed's even coming out and saying that they're going to cut a point this year, right? That's 4 rate cuts, whether we get one this month or next month or the month later. It doesn't matter because we're in that cycle. The markets are forward looking, right? So that's the best thing that could happen is with Jerome Powell. Like maybe he doesn't cut rates, but if he comes out and says, yeah, we're still on pace for cutting at 1 full point, boom. Market is forward looking, baby. We're going to be looking for excitement when that happens. So if we can run up into that, and then that could be, a little bit more extra fuel to the fire, boom, we're set to go 160.
Exactly. And right now, I mentioned it before, and I hate to bring it up again, but everybody's all pessimistic on the mainstream media front. Yeah. So imagine once, the current administration, they have a couple cards in their back pocket. One of them, in my opinion, is going to be this, this budget bill, right? Being able to push through the taxes, no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips. And then also possibly, if they can get it through, no tax with people 200,000 in income a year and below. If that happens, that changes the game completely. But also they have a couple other wild cards. They're going to want to make later this year be a good economic environment. Yeah. At some point, because they know what that can do for the markets, especially with crypto. Look, this administration is big on crypto, so they want to, at least appease Americans that are in crypto at the very least.
100%, man. All right, let's jump in. So the crypto market reclaims 3 trillion. So we're back, baby. We're over 3 trillion. Bitcoin is about 2 trillion of that, though, right? So that's the one thing that that kind of. Yeah, but we do see, I see personally, Bitcoin dominance kind of on its way down here now. The Bitcoin dominance chart, or the Bitcoin.D, is still at 64% here. Do you see potentially, now that we're kind of escaping a little bit, escaping the bear cycle, I guess you would say, of this bull market? This is Bitcoin dominance, bro. Like, this is the strongest chart I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, sorry. What do you think?
It has to start with Bitcoin. It always does, right? This cycle is definitely different with Bitcoin's dominance. Has been just very, very consistently dominant. But there will be a time where things get a little bit more risky. Whether that's whenever kind of some of the things I said, where the economic macro environment gets a bit better, things like that. There has to be some kind of type, whether it's traditional stimulus or just stimulating the economy and no removing taxes, whatever it is, there has to be something. And I think that there is going to be something, and I think that's whenever probably the alts pick up. They're going to pick up regardless. Do they get that hyper action? I think so. If once Bitcoin's at that, you know, $140,000 mark, people have made some profit there. They're willing. The more people make profit on Bitcoin, the more they're willing to take a little bit more risk every time. In my opinion, I could be wrong there, but that's where I'm thinking here. And so I do expect once that does happen for there to be some hyper aggression with the altcoin market.
Which one do you see happening first? Do you see this one potentially us just breaking down and just falling through? Because this line has been strong, and I do feel like once it breaks this line, it's going to be here. But do we wait until late August, or do we kind of see that in May, June?
I'm not so sure it's going to be like that, like a straight B line, like the previous cycles. You know, there's a lot of institutions and nation states that are looking at Bitcoin as.
Well, you
as
saw it here.
Yeah,
right? That's why I said it.
You did see it there. When was that? That was fall of last year.
This was 24. Yeah.
So winter. It looks like it started in the fall or early winter, and it lasted until the end of December. Yeah, so we could see something like that possibly, but it's just the narrative and information that we're getting is that nation states, entities, everybody's looking at Bitcoin as this like really solid, safe asset now.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how low it goes. But there obviously has to be a trickle down effect unless normies start to come run over here, and that's where the problem lies, right? It's because previous cycles, when that happened, it was whenever the hysteria was there, right? So first time in 2017, Bitcoin gets to 20,000. You know, you had Litecoin, you had Ethereum, all starting to go up. It made the masses say, "Oh, I want some. I miss Bitcoin. I want what's this Litecoin?" They came in. Macro environment wasn't like where we are now. Same thing in 2021. Bad macro environment. Stimulus is what caused that. What's going to be the catalyst? What's going to be that? Is it going to be stimulus, tax cut? There's stuff there that's possible, and we could see that. And if we do, we could probably expect some craziness, and that's where I think the dominance could drop some.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Let's take it back. Let's take a look here. So January 2021, right? You saw this upward trend, and kind of that's where it kind of peaked out at 73 before a insane run down to 39%. This is 2021, May of 2021. Kind of saw the bottom for Bitcoin dominance, and then sideways for about a year or so. And then we do know what happens in a bear market. Bitcoin takes dominance back. So and from 2022, we've technically been in a Bitcoin dominance bull run, right? So technically, I guess my question is when, right? So, but what if we are? Let's just take it back. Maybe we had a delay bull run because of Trump, right? Maybe we are in December of 2020 when it comes to markets. And if so, we could potentially see the next 2 to 12 months be absolutely glorious for Bitcoin and crypto.
At that point, the overall macro environment for the US at least needs to be very positive, like energy there. And then that's where I see that can happen, right? Right now, you still have normies not asking necessarily questions of how can I get involved. It's more of entities, infrastructure that are normally Web 2 that are saying, okay, we're coming over now. Regulation's good. And eventually that will probably happen a little bit more and more to where the normies do come over because they're, they have options. They're like, oh, wow, now PayPal's full blown offering this, or this payment application's full blown offering this. This is new. This is crypto. So then I think people will start to see and then say, okay, but they're gonna have to still have that extra cash. That's where we're lacking right now. But I think that they have a plan for that. They have a plan to get extra cash in people's pockets. There's no way they're gonna stay where we are right now to the end of the year with the same situation. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, and a lot of people sitting in Bitcoin might be feeling a little risky and take some loans out on Coinbase from their Bitcoin. Get that in altcoins, right? The ultimate hedge. And then, eventually sell your altcoins in profit, pay back that Bitcoin loan, and then buy more Bitcoin.
Yeah, yesterday I saw Coinbase come out and said already $100 million in USDC loans against Bitcoin. So huge accomplishment there, and also a little scary because it's a lot.
Well, that's leverage coming onto the system, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's basically the same thing as going long, taking a loan out on it. So, but we will see. Jump to the next thing here. So this was a little confusing. Ripple reportedly made a 4 to 5 billion bid to acquire Circle's USDC, but the offer was turned down. Pro XRP lawyer John Deaton weighed in on Ripple's potential acquisition of the stablecoin issuer Circle, saying he's looking forward to Ripple buying or becoming a bank if this goes through. What's your take on this? I know you saw it live. We were actually on a meeting, and I was like, yo, breaking news. Ripple's trying to buy Circle. And then once we got done the meeting, it was, they turned it down. But what do you think, man? Do you think that Ripple can get a deal done to buy Circle and become this bank that John Deaton thinks they can become?
No, I don't think that Circle is going to give up on it. Unless they get to some astronomical number that, they're trying. I think they're trying to do this because they want to be the leading stablecoin provider. That a ton of stuff comes with that, right?
Yeah.
Circle's already into with the regulators, right? In terms of easy path, I think, to going public and all these things, right? So, but XRP just wants to probably be that main financial institution for crypto for the US. And I think that's why they're attempting this. They have the banking background, right? Brad Garlinghouse has a banking background. They are the bankers of the crypto space. So not necessarily a good thing, but they have the experience. So I think even if they don't acquire this, they might shoot for something smaller that they can build upon. But it's probably because of the way that, the administration and regulators already seek Circle right now that they want it.
Yeah, 100%. And my main argument with XRP is that why the hell would you use XRP, the coin, for cross-border payments? Like, I get it's fast as hell, but within 30 seconds, it could drop, a couple percentage points. Isn't a big deal, right? But when you're talking billions of dollars, do you really want to be, let's just say $10 billion? I mean, that's potentially going to be $500 million, right? And percentages that you could lose just from transferring it to XRP, sending it to XRP, and transferring it back to a stablecoin. It's stupid. Why not just use a stable coin to do the whole thing? It'll never change. It'll always 1-to-1 to $1. You have nothing to worry about. XRP is a fast ledger. Let's just say XRP is the gas for USDC on XRP. Now I see it. Now I see the value, right? And that changes everything. Because now you can use a system that's made for banking like XRP is, and now you can cross-border USDC. That is where the value comes from, not the XRP coin, but XRP chain.
I agree with that, and I think that's why banks are so attracted to this stable coin infrastructure as well. Even Bitcoin, they don't do it with gold, in terms of consistent gold trading all the time. Yes, like the actual traders, the retail traders, but not like banking institutions, right? It's because there's no stability. There's not enough stability, right? And so that's. So I agree with you in that, in terms of that. I don't think XRP will ever be used for that because it's just not stable enough. You can't. No. Countries won't want to use it. The entities won't want to use it. Stuff like that. But if it does show value in the future, they'll want to use it as like a portfolio type of build up, like they're doing with Bitcoin. And some of these other ones will go into like a basket of goods, that kind of thing. Because I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're going to get their ETF approved. I feel like
I agree.
Right. So they're going to be in the market, and so that's how I think people are going to look at them as just your typical crypto, volatile asset, and it will become less and less volatile as the ETF grows in popularity and stuff.
Yeah, if it can grow as a chain token, as Solana, right, where you're using the chain and there's DeFi there, and you're using XRP as the main chain token, and you're wrapping that with every coin there, USDC or whatever. I think that's another way it can get value, right? I don't see it as this, this banking system coin or whatever. I do see it as a really fast chain. It's up there with Sonic. It's up there with Solana, right? It's super fast. That is the only way I see this thing being around in 10 years, 20 years, right? It needs to be that stablecoin chain. But we'll see. Morgan Stanley to offer crypto trading access to E-Trade clients. I was wondering when this was going to come, right? And then we have right after that, you have 7.1 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab to launch a spot crypto trading within 12 months. So they just came out to the same day. Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, we're going to allow you to spot trade Bitcoin and crypto on our exchanges that E-Trade for I mean has 1 million daily users, right? Like it's something crazy. It's like a couple million. It's wild. So I mean, this is potentially people not having to withdraw their money, not having to get into an ETF, but buy Bitcoin through these exchanges now who are competing with Coinbase.
Not surprised. Expected this to happen eventually. They fought against it. Some of these hedge funds and or these the brokers and for the TradFi markets. But now they realize it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to grow because this administration is very pro crypto for the US. But you have to remember like how much money is tied into these companies, not just from US investment, but from like Western Europe and other places that were more on board with the likes of WEF and the IMF and those kind of mentality, right? So now I think like those entities they've broken and they're starting to bend the knee a bit. Like I'm talking about the IMF and stuff like that too. And they're saying, hey, look, and they're saying, hey, look, guys, look, it's here. We got to figure it. Now we got to play strategy game. We got to remain at the top of the food chain. And I think this is showing that now that you have the Charles Schwabs come in, E-Trade come in, we're going to see more and more of this. So it's going to be very interesting because then we're going to have more and more traditional TradFi people talking about crypto, playing in it, services offered. It's going to be more and more involved with financial advisors, traditional financial advisors. Like a lot of me and my wife's, friends, they have financial advisors that are traditional, right, for their future retirement, all this stuff. They're starting to get a little bit more and more talked about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. 100%. So you have the WEF, right? Or like a non-forum saying, hey, crypto guys, you were right. You guys were right this whole time. So
they'll never say that, but
all right, let's dig into the crypto fear and greed here. So last week we're at 63. Yesterday we were at a 56. Today we are a little lower than yesterday, still very neutral and still in the 50s. What's your guess, buddy?
53.
Yep, dead on.
Oh,
boop.
Yay.
Got it, bro. Got it. So yes, 53 today. Really cool. I think it's awesome that we kind of took this little step back before this next blast off. I think we're in the 60s. Maybe Monday morning. I think Sunday night. I think we're back in the 60s. So, but we'll see.
I agree with that.
All right. Let's kind of get into the Bitcoin price action here. Bitcoin, where is it? What the hell did I do with it? Let's get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura. Artura.finance is the site I want you guys all to check out. Artura. So with Artura, they are a trading leverage platform. They're going to be on a Bitcoin L2. That Bitcoin L2 is Hemi. Hemi is backed by Binance. Binance usually backs chains and eventually gets their token. This is a big deal for a lot of reasons, especially for Artura, because not only when you use Artura will you be getting the airdrop from them, but you will also be getting that potentially the Hemi airdrop as well. This is something I want you all to get. Low leverage, low money play, get points, and potentially, maybe there's some quests and stuff like that. Definitely do them, guys. It'll be worth it. I promise you. I am airdrop farming right now. We're actually going to put out a video on Sunday about all the airdrops that I'm farming, so you guys can join me in them as well. I'm doing my research, trying to find more and more. It's going to be a members video. So if you are interested in that, we have a members program. It's in the show notes below. You guys can check out through YouTube. I think it's like $9.99 a month. But I guess, guys, when we start getting bullish, we're going to have a lot of alpha for you guys. And that's going to be the place where we go first. So definitely check that out. And definitely check out Artura.finance and Hemi.
Absolutely. And guys, did you know that like there's airdrop teams that like go to conferences and stuff and they make $500,000 a year is what they're saying. I don't know. It's coming out of their mouth. So I don't know if I believe it, but that is what they're saying. So there's opportunities there for sure. And before we get into the Bitcoin price action, if you could help us out like you guys always do, because you guys are awesome on the YouTube side, smash that like for us, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, guys, help us out here. There's a lot of people in Dubai, so we need you guys to share this space so we can educate, onboard as many people to the crypto and Bitcoin ecosystem as possible. And as well on the abstract side, because we love you abstract audience as well. If you could share that stream, greatly appreciate it. And give us a follow over there as well. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action, starting as always with the hour chart. And I'll tell you something, it is looking pretty beautiful here. All right, so you can see we've really started this uptrend from yesterday at 9 a.m. It's really just been pretty much up only with a couple pullbacks here, but nothing super crazy, substantial. You saw actually over throughout the night we looked pretty good, and then we had a big red candle that opened, and people got probably liquidated a bit. Not too many though, because it only brought us down to like right below 96,000. But it was a little interesting. Right at the bell, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, decided to bring this back down and then said, nope, we are going to continue this up. And we are sitting right at 97,200, but we got all the way as high as 97,550 here. So looking pretty strong, right? We've been in oversold territory on the stochastic, overbought territory in the stochastic RSI since last night, 8 p.m. Eastern. But we just been really hanging out up here, right? How long do we want to hang out up here? Me, I want to hang out up here for a very, very long time, but we'll see if that continues. You can see the MACD as well, looking really strong. The MACD leading blue indicator line is really, still has that uptrend here, not pointing straight up, but like still in that uptrend direction. So I'm feeling pretty decent about Bitcoin's price action. It is May 1st. This is supposed to be a day that was bullish anyways. I'm gonna say that we have this bullish continuation happening, right? Just be careful, because like I always mention, you're never in a up only time period forever, right? Yeah, in the most bullish environments, you could probably see something very similar to that month and a half. Eventually, they will try to get the greedy people even in those environments. So just be careful, guys. So yeah, second half of today, we'll probably swing a little bit back and forth, but I imagine we try to knock on 98,000. Honestly, I feel like that is something that could be done today. But let's just see. That's what I'm kind of thinking. On the 4 hour, it did, Bitcoin decided what it wanted to do on the 1 hour yesterday, kind of evening. And we have broken out of the sell pressure, which we were actually there for quite a while, since April 25th, which was last Wednesday. This lasted quite a while on the MACD, the sell pressure. But we are starting the buy pressure now on the MACD, which is really, really good. You can see we have this uptrend that's just continuation from what was it, yesterday, right? So kind of yesterday we really started that strong uptrend, which broke us into starting this buy pressure on the MACD as well. So rest of today, tomorrow, heading into the weekend, I feel good. I feel like I wouldn't be shocked we break 100K by Monday. Something like that. So I'm just feeling really good. Maybe I'm feeling a little too good, but that's how I feel right now. In the 4 hour chart, the 1 hour chart, getting support from the 1 hour chart. So I feel really good for the next couple of days as well. Let's take a look here at the weekly chart. We just saw, I think Bob Lucas had his weekly chart that Shizzy showed you guys. But yeah, this is looking very much the same. The setup looks amazing. I feel a lot more comfortable once we're around here at that 68 point on the stochastic, which I don't think it's going to take us much longer to get here. Maybe by Monday we're here already, and then we can kind of start to break above 100K and then start heading to maybe some new all-time highs. We'll see, right? We only need to get to 109, 110, but we still have, in my opinion, another month and a half kind of to have this bullish opportunity for Bitcoin to break through that, and possibly longer. So that's what I'm seeing as well. In the weekly, we look very, very strong. I expect us to break above 100K very soon, whether that's going to be like I said, this weekend, early next week, mid next week, who knows? Who cares? We just know where we're heading, unless anything catastrophic happens, like I always say. But Bitcoin's weekly chart looks really good. And then here's the others, everything besides Bitcoin and everything outside of the top 10 of alts. So, this is kind of like those some of the majors, mids, and micros. You can see here the setup is starting to look really good as well. As I mentioned, I think this will start fast tracking after Bitcoin hits a new all-time high and then calms down. But it's going to slowly tell Bitcoin as Bitcoin gets there. So I'm feeling good there as well. So it's really kind of dependent on Bitcoin and when Bitcoin wants to calm down and that dominance starts to calm down a little bit. So that is the price action for Bitcoin and the others. And I love to see this as well. The daily crypto bubbles just looks beautiful as well. You can see everything is green. Yesterday, we didn't want to look at the daily bubbles because everything was red, but we got that bounce back. You can even see in the week is starting to look pretty much green as well. So yeah, virtual's up 131% on the week. Pengu's up 66%. You see Flocky there up 28%. So the memes are definitely, continuing their momentum. Fartcoin back up 12.3%. Hyperliquid 12.3%. Ondo, interesting, down 11.8%, was there some bad news or anything that came out for Ondo? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know Ondo was very strong through this entire bear market, or bears thing. So I think maybe some money's coming out of that and getting a little risky. But I didn't see any news on Ondo.
Yeah. Tao's continuing their momentum too. And the utility plays are definitely a bit lower, except for Virtual. Virtual's been in the spotlight though, but you even see like Sui up 13.8%. So looking pretty good, guys, so far.
Yeah, man, 100%. It looks really good, man. I'm actually very happy with the markets. I mean, I'm looking and seeing a lot of really good numbers, man, especially in the Bitcoin ecosystem. We got Dog rolling here. It looks like I'm looking at Dog. Dog is over a little under 003, which is about up 9% for the day. So Dog's over 300 million for the first time in a while here. So really awesome to see that as well. But let's kind of get into the roll call here. Let's jump right in. First is first on this show. Let's see who that first comment was. And I was lagging. I actually don't even know. Oh, it's ASAP Benji. Congratulations, Benji. Let's check you out. Let's bring up the chart here. So Lackey Lukey won yesterday. Then ASAP Benji won today. And let's go see when your last win was. Your last win was the 22nd. You had 7. So congratulations. Now you, sir, have 8. So you won this Thursday. Absolutely amazing, man. You're in it, bro. I mean, you're like, 8 away from Webdro and about 12 away from 13 away from Danny Boy. So absolutely awesome. It's still anyone's game, bro. Anyone's game. And we still have more than half a year left for you guys to really, really get in this. And all you got to do is be that first comment, guys. Be like Rocky. I'm sorry. Be like ASAP Benji. Be like Lackey Lukey, Danny Boy, and Webdro. And even Mr. Shizzy made it last week. So be like my guys here and get that first comment so I can put you guys on here. Long way to go. See who holds on. But
were you thinking ASAP Rocky? Is that why?
I was. I don't know why. I saw ASAP, and that's the first name that popped in my head was Rocky. But my man Benji should be first. For shout out to ASAP Benji. Number 2, we got my boy Matt. Shout out to Matt. Danny Boy was 3. Shout out to Danny Boy. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Boo, was 4. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Lackey Lukey and his Billy Cat. Shout out to Lackey Lukey, man. And then we have let's see. Glasshopper. Shout out to Glasshopper, man. Every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Followed by Nabob. Shout out to Nabob is here. Ordinals Tweets is here. Jonathan Mitchell. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Nighthawk UXL is here. ASAP Benji again. Satoshi Nakamoto. Shout out to Satoshi. Always watching the show from cyberspace. Bitcoin is Truth is here. Shout out to Bitcoin is Truth. Vader Time. Cheaty. Super fan with a GM. Shout out to you, my friend. Cheaty says, thanks to you guys for Sui ecosystem mention the other time. The Sui USDT liquidity pair has been printing since then. Yeah, I'm sure that's a great pair to be in for sure. Kevin B. Williams is here. He says, rock on. Shout out to Kevin B, man, our guy. Chief Axel is here. Myself is here. Steamy J is here. Love you guys, man. Every single one of you guys who makes roll call every single day. Much appreciated for sure. All right. Let's kind of get into today's big topic. So today's big topic is AI-powered trading protocol feels unreal, literally. So let's take a deep dive into what that is, and that is virtuals, right? Me and you both went to virtuals this morning, and we were like, "What the?" It looks completely different than when we were messing with it in January. We're seeing huge momentum playing, but I've noticed something called points, right? And then to get into these Genesis launches, which is the kind of like the new way of doing launches. They did have the prototype. You can still come in that way. It's still a possibility, but these seem to be more of the way to go when you're launching a token, which means you need points. So this is how they're looking into stopping the bots. So in order to get points, you have to use the ecosystem. By using the ecosystem, you get points, and that allows you to jump into other things. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to get into something like Alpha Crew. It's been live for it's going live in 22 hours and 20 minutes. So if I was interested in this, I could come in here, go to this first one, which is Alpha Crew. Token is Crew. and it'll come to the next page here, and this will allow me to potentially invest in this when the time comes. I'm able to, my wallet is connected. I can commit my points, and I also have to commit 566 virtual, which is over $1,000. I think I might be able to go lower. Yeah, you can go lower. You don't need to do it. The max is 566. So this is, I do like this, the fact that they have a max, and I do like how you have to give away some of your points. So if I get in this one, potentially I can't get in another one. So I have to kind of be really smart about which of these I can get into until they get over that bonding curve and get into the regular trading.
I absolutely love this. I love
Yeah.
this because it creates a safer environment, right? Instead of just, oh, you know, people trying to get it to bonding and then dump on everybody. There's like there's prior commitments to this. And so you can still participate in that with the prototype agents, but the people that want to be a bit more serious and say, hey, look, is there anything with the substance over here? And maybe I'm more curious of, like, you know, does a dev have to fill out a form to get into the Genesis launches? How does that part work, right? I'm sure that there has to be something like that. But I think this is exactly, dude, Pump Fund should follow this too, in my opinion.
Wow.
In a sense, right? Like, in a sense, because I'll tell you what, like the person, because Virtuals was getting like Pump Fund at one point. You know, and that was, people were getting burnt out from that, right? Like, you had to be so careful, then you get dumped on, over, and then, you know, fake this project, over. But with this, you at least have people that have skin in the game that are coming in here, you know, trying, and then you still have the option of to do the completely degen route, the prototype agents, right? So if Pump Fund adopted this model, you could say this is more towards utility. This is for just, you know, playing that game, casino game, completely. This is still a little bit gambling, right? Obviously, or not a little bit. It's still decent amount, but at least there's like prior commitments, and it wouldn't turn off like newbies that go over there. So that's just my opinion.
100%. And like, you don't need when you're pledging points, you don't need a lot of points to pledge. You know, you can, I mean, somebody at 58 points, look at this. I barely use the platform, and I have, you know, 1,300, right? So I could come in here right now and be number 4, or if I wanted to, and it doesn't matter how much virtual I commit either, because it's all kind of different here. So I can come in here with 1 virtual, 2 virtual, 10 virtual, 100 virtual, whatever, 1,000 virtual. Well, I guess 566 is the max, so I can do 566 and then put all my points on this. But people are being really stingy with their points too. I mean, this guy, he's all in, right? He's like, screw it, I want my allocation. So he's number 1. But this, you know, this goes live in 22 hours. So tomorrow, I'm curious. I'm gonna watch it, kind of learn from it, and kind of see how it works before I jump into anything. But really cool. I do love this new feature for sure.
I like the max virtuals too. I feel like that also puts it to where the distribution could be better. And let's face it, you can say decentralized meme coin launchpad should be decentralized, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'll tell you what's happened is there's been projects actually that have used Pump Fund to launch, but the tokenomics are jacked up because of distribution. Distribution sucks most of the time when it comes to Pump Fund models, because there's a lot of people that ape in early or whatever, and then most of them try to dump on you or whatever, right? But then some people hold on to like large, huge bags, and then they can figure out if it's an actual solid project that's producing something, they can figure out how to have like a like maybe a little small team to control the market cap and stuff like that, and that's the last thing you want.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so this is cool too, because you have the dev amounts, right? This dev's 50%, 50%, 15%. How do you feel about those ones? Because one, the dev can dump on you, right? But at the same time, you do want them to kind of lock up 50% of the supply if they're good devs, and maybe that's used for investment or with whatever. We do know some teams that launched on Pump Fund, and they're like, yeah, our biggest mistake was launching on Pump Fund, because we only got like, you know, 4% of the supply or 3% of the supply or whatever. We need more for investors, and you need investors in your project. Investors are you know, diamond hands, right? At least most of them are anyway. So how do you feel about getting into a project with a 50% dev taken?
In the locked position?
Yeah.
Well,
it says dev right there.
Yeah, and there's like a lock right next to it too. I'm not sure. Does that mean they've locked it up in the LP?
Good question.
Yeah, that's something that I think we got to get more clarity on. But if you go to ended, you can see, if you go to the left there, ended, you can see,
Okay.
you know, the devs, and so like a lot of them are zero. A lot
Yeah.
of them are locking up zero. You see that V rough has 20% locked up, so that's pretty substantial. Then you have 15. So yeah, I just would need to learn a little bit more if that's going to liquidity. That's obviously trying to portray that they're committed, right? They're committed. They're locking it up. They're not touching that, and I guess it would be a positive thing, right?
Yeah. And look at this. You can fail.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Normally they just let you go until, you know, you can go over, but this is they're actually calling failure. So that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Superfan says virtuals borrow the moonshot launch approach too. Once there's 420K market cap, virtuals creates a liquidity pool. Yeah. So I mean,
So
maybe
they lowered it.
Yeah, to 420. So
yeah.
Awesome. That's good to know. Thanks, bro. He's like, no bonding curve as far as I know, but there's a threshold. Oh, okay. So there's no bonding curve, but in order for them to create the liquidity pool, you need to hit 420K market cap, which is very similar to a bonding curve, right? Uh-oh. But all good, all good. Let's take a look at some of the older tokens here. You back?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I guess it's Sentient, right? That's the older ones. And let's take a look. So last time I checked, this was a long time ago. So let's kind of take a look at the market cap. So wow, dude, game is a $10 million market cap. Oh, that's TVL.
No, you
56.
no,
okay.
You remember? Yeah,
Yeah. FDV. So let's take a look at the game
if
chart.
you actually, I was gonna say, if you actually click on FDV, it'll filter from highest to lowest. But you're good. Let's go over the chart here.
Yeah, I want to take a look at this. Let's go to the daily on this. Okay, so it's coming back alive here. This thing was about 40 cents, now sitting around 5 cents. Is game a buy here? Is game something, because we do know that they're using games like backend for a lot of these protocols. Do you think game is potentially a good buy here? I mean, look at this chart.
I can't remember what the all-time high was. I think it was around 200 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's that right now? 5. So it's about 5. So eight times what is 400 million actually at the very highest.
So yeah, let me go back to day because it moves you back to the 15 minutes. But yeah, so yeah, we're sitting about 402 million. Damn. And right now we're sitting at around 65, so 56 to be exact. So yeah, man.
So
game was something I was very bullish on. Yeah. Let's go back to the FDVs, kind of check them out. So we'll go to FDV, see what the highest and lowest is. Okay, so obviously we have AIXBT sitting at 178. Toshi? What? Where did this come from? You remember Toshi?
So I remember Toshi being a regular token on Base, like a meme token on Base. So I don't know if it crossed over or what, but someone's saying, I don't know if the developer said, hey, we're going to roll this in. I'm not sure, honestly. I just remember Toshi being a meme coin on Base. So that's interesting to see that there.
Yeah, huge gap between 171 and 56 too. Like, it's pretty wild. The differences. This is kind of like what we were seeing on Odin when Dog was like 30 million and the next one was like 6. So
yeah.
Rex.
I would probably try to get into some of the ones that are lower, that had like Vader, for example. I know Vader had a really good momentum at one point. It was a AI portfolio management type of project, but it's still at 36. And there's some probably low-hanging fruit stuff. I know Brain was one and stuff like that, but there's probably new ones too.
Yeah, game sitting at 7.5 million, up a lot though. A lot of these tokens are up a lot, guys. So if you're entering any of these, just be careful. Simpson here, up 37%, 5 million. Simpson, I saw this pretty high. I think I saw this super high. I remember in January. I can't find Y Combinator. There's Y Combinator. Damn, hasn't really moved. It's a little up from where I was seeing it in January, but.
Well, I think Y Combinator was at like 20 million.
Was it? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Between 20 and
Combinator. 15. Yeah, because it's a portfolio management token as well.
Yeah.
But
true.
Dora Dora AI.
Dora.
Got like I stay away from that one, man. So,
Yeah,
travel
no.
agent? No, nah.
Not this time. We've seen that last time, right? So, but yeah, man. So this is something to definitely pay attention to, guys. Not saying to get into any of this stuff. It has ran pretty hard, but definitely start looking, right? Because virtuals could be something that, virtuals and Tau are probably two ecosystems that I definitely suggest you look at for sure right now, especially in AI.
Yeah, there's one in there. There's one in there called Billy Bets, and it's actually from the like one of the Tau subnets supports it, Sports Tensor. So it gets its data from Sports Tensor and another actual Tau subnet. I think it might be Score, but it feeds the data into Billy Bets platform to make its bets and all that stuff. So that's one to keep your eye on because that could be a big actual like commercial product in the future.
Yeah, this has been on a tear too, dude. 002 to 009 in the last day or so. There's a couple days. Well, no, this is April 7th. So if you would have bought April 7th, you're loving life right now, up about 4x. So yeah, man. All right, let's jump into the next topics here. That was a fun one. This one's cool. Sui, which we talked about the other day. They had a tweet that said sBitcoin is coming soon on Sui. Holders of the one-to-one programmable Bitcoin asset can earn yield, lend, and trade their Bitcoin via sBTC, bridging two worlds into one. Stacks came right after that and said Sui is integrating Stacks and sBTC into its ecosystem. So originally when I saw sBTC, I was like, oh, wow, Sui Bitcoin. But no, it's actually Stacks Bitcoin that's being migrated from Stacks to Sui. So Sui said, yeah, we don't want to deal with the wrapping crap. We just want to use... Well, I guess they are wrapping because you're wrapping from Stacks now to Sui. So you're wrapping from Bitcoin to Stacks, and then you're wrapping from Stacks to Sui. What do you think about this? Do you think this is? I originally thought it was pretty big.
It is big. It's big for Stacks because Stacks is been a bit stagnant. I feel like for the past year and a half since Ordinals took off, and a lot of Stacks developers actually are in the Ordinal ecosystem, and it's kind of weird. It's like building together, right? But this is a big move because the wrapped Bitcoins that were new the past year and a half, a lot of them came from the Bitcoin layer 2 kind of bubble, right? That happened. And so you have like Merlin Bitcoin and BTC, then you have Solve Bitcoin, which is, I think, just I forgot what it is. Solve Bitcoin, it's S something BTC, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have like two more. You have Lombard Bitcoin as well. So they're trying to make their presence felt in other ecosystems, though, which is smart. Like MBTC went to SEI, which is SEI, right? So Merlin Bitcoin's over there right now. It also is on BNB, I believe. It's going to be there. And then they have like the DAO, the Wrap Bitcoin DAO that they're a part of. And then now you have sBTC, which Stacks has created, that's trying to make its mark. And so this, to me, this is good because the more that you have these synthetic wrap Bitcoins, the more that you have to have Bitcoin backing them and stored up. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence, and a lot of those aren't moving at all, ever, probably. And so what this does is it continually takes them out of circulation and locks them up.
Yeah. Why do you think Sui went with sBTC from Stacks instead of places like wrapped Bitcoin? Like, all these other wrapped Bitcoin assets. Why do you think they chose Stacks of all places?
I think what's happening is a network effect right now, right? So everybody's trying to use their network, whether the Stacks founder had his foot in the door with someone at Sui. You see it with Jeff and Merlin. That's 100%. You see the network effect happening. And I think we're in this arms race with these wrapped Bitcoins and synthetic Bitcoins to say, hey, we want to brand ours because we have a lot backing. It's basically a sales pitch, and I think that Stacks basically sold their wrapped Bitcoin to Sui.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That was actually a really good call because like your network is your net worth. So you want to go with a team you trust. So maybe the owners of Sui and the owners of Stacks, they talk a lot. You want to go somewhere that you feel real safe, and it's a Bitcoin L2, right? So you want, it's the closest thing to Bitcoin. Stacks is, that they say with their last upgrade that they are officially a Bitcoin L2. I would love to talk to some maxis about that and kind of see what their opinion on the new upgrade and if it is really like Lightning Network and an actual L2. What's your opinion on that? Is Stacks like a real L2 now? I mean, I haven't done enough research.
I don't unless it finalizes transactions on Bitcoin, which I don't think it does right now. I'm not sure. Honestly, I do need to dive deep. The only one that I know of that I've anybody's ever stated is Lightning from a technical standpoint. But the it's kind of like what's a recession? You know what I mean? Like they changed the definition, and that happens too with like Bitcoin L2s. But with possibly this new pull request that goes through, that could change because there's a lot more data that's going to be stored there, and like a lot of projects that have to do with ZK are excited about this, right? Like Citria and stuff like that. So maybe this opens the door up for more technically like capable L2s as well. So I think we see that regardless, because BitVM can produce that, and Zero Knowledge can produce that as well. We'll see if that happens, but as of right now, I know they work close with Bitcoin Layer 1 trying to make that happen. So if they're not officially, they will be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just seen myself's comment. I'm sorry, myself. I didn't see that. So he said, "What if retail never comes?" So retail won't come for Bitcoin, right? Retail, a lot of retail people you talk to, I can't afford a whole Bitcoin, and they don't understand that you don't need a whole Bitcoin, right? But they will come 100%. They will come, but they will come when you're seeing tokens go from $2 to $10. When you're seeing 0.002 tokens go to 0.01, right? That's when they will come. They want to get in. They want immediate like satisfaction, right? They want that easy win, and they're not willing to wait. That's why they're I guess tourists, right? They're only here when it's bullish, and they buy their bags and they hold them for a little bit of time, and then they dump them when they lose.
Yeah, I would actually argue a little bit that we've had a little bit of new retail come into Bitcoin, but it's a different kind of retail than what we're used to, right? Like those old heads that like that were like only TradFi. That's the little bit of retail that has already come. But I agree with you. The other retail, which is the general masses, like middle class, maybe some upper lower class, those people, you're right. They ain't gonna buy Bitcoin because to them they want a little bit of a scratch off feel, right? To where they can be like, okay, what's solid? What can I get into? What can, they want to feel smart too. Like, what can I make a smart decision on with this investment to make? How much upside does Solana have, or how much upside does this token have? That kind of situation. And I'll go back to my situation or my point earlier about the macro needs to be in a certain like state in the US for them to come. But once we get there, they will come because they can't hold on to money.
Yeah. 100%.
So there's like, what can I do with it?
And we all come in as tourists, right? Like we all come in during the hype cycle, right? I came in during late like mid 2020, right? When everyone's kind of talking about Bitcoin and what was going to happen, right? So what's going to happen again is a lot of people are going to come in, but a lot of them are going to stay, like I did, like you did, right? So they might leave for a little while, and come back and be full-time crypto guys like us, and start actually looking at our market legit. And that's the biggest thing. This is the cycle where crypto assets look legit. Before, let's just say 1998, when you're looking at stuff like Amazon and Google, you're like, the internet's a fad. This will never last. These companies are going to zero, right? And then in 2004, you're like, oh, wow, these are legit. These are here to stay. I think we're about to enter our legit moment, especially with maybe the top 100 coins.
Yeah. To your point, there's a movie with Sandra Bullock in the 90s. I think it was like 96. And there's a website about like ordering pizza. Pizza Hut actually started that website. I forgot what it was called. It was some random URL, but like she ordered a pizza in the movie, right? But that website actually died like 2 years later because not enough users were using it because people didn't trust it, you know. And then Pizza Hut eventually had their own website, you know, their branded website eventually. So you're absolutely right. We're kind of in that phase of okay, now big companies are coming over. That's going to bring more public trust. That's what it comes down to. Public trust was lost with FTX last cycle, COVID, all types of bad stuff. But these big entities are coming over now. They trust these Web2 brands. They will start to say, okay, if they trust, then I trust.
Yeah, 100%. BlockFi, Luna, Celsius, right? They all failed, and a lot of people got wrecked. And hopefully those people do come back. But my boy Danny says, started from the bottom, now we here. Shout out to Danny boy, man, my guy. And then, all right, let's kind of get into the next thing here. Athena partners with TRON to launch TEUSDE. All right, that's a lot of letters there, but TRON USD Athena on Telegram, integrating with wallets like Tonekeeper. And then, you know, your boy Eric Trump came out and he was like, well, I like Eric Trump too, but World Liberty's Fi came out and said USD1 will be natively integrated on TRON, just announced. So there is no wrap token like Athena's doing. They're coming in and saying, hey, USD1 will be there as well. Shout out by those guys, man. Natively integrated on TRON. I thought they were natively integrated on TRON, but I guess that's TRON. I'm sorry, I didn't see the R until just right now. So all right, so Athena is doing TRON and World Liberty is doing TRON. Wait, TON and TRON. Sorry, R's are messing up.
Yeah, well, that's interesting though, man. Justin Sun, I'm telling you, he must be a salesman because he's got the Trump organization all in on TRON. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, it's like, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, right? We'll load you guys up. We'll buy your token. Just make sure you guys integrate TRON, and that's a win-win. So
yeah, and here's $20 million for World Liberty Fi.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's hop into the other topic of the day. The Bitcoin community is currently embroiled in a significant debate over a proposal to remove the 80 byte size limit on the op return function. The proposal, known as Pull Request 32359, was submitted by Bitcoin core developer Peter Todd and has sparked a divide among developers and users regarding Bitcoin's core's purpose. Peter Todd's proposal suggests eliminating the 80 byte restriction on op return, arguing that the current limit is arbitrary and outdated. What do you think about this first before we kind of get into the huge debate between developers right now?
First of all, I wouldn't say it's the Bitcoin community. It's definitely split though, right? Like we don't interact with them necessarily. They don't interact with us, but then there's a couple that are in between, right?
We're all in the same chain.
And so, we're
all in the same chain.
Yeah, okay. So it's a big pie. They just are in the very outskirts of it. No, I'm just kidding. So real quick, I think this is great. I don't know Peter Todd's exact intentions, but I think from a building standpoint, I think this is really good for actual builders that are building something, not just, and no offense to like collections, I love the art and ordinals and stuff, but this is not for that. This is more for the people that are trying to scale Bitcoin or create something really cool on Bitcoin without changing Bitcoin, like in a, I guess, like big way, right? It's very minimal in terms of lifting this filter or limitation. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I mean, it's stupid to have any restrictions like that are not going to mess up change. So my question to you is, will taking the restriction away mess Bitcoin up the way that Michael Saylor or the way that Larry Fink sees Bitcoin? Is there any intention of something going wrong in that part of it, or is it a non-issue?
I think it's a non-issue, but I think this is more about power and control, and maybe some people having a panic attack of, okay, if they can just do this willy-nilly, then they can possibly try to increase the block size, or what's next. I think that's what's going through their minds, right? Just to kind of dumb this situation down, the argument from the laser eye side is, why lift the limit restriction and basically open the door to spamming Bitcoin? And the argument side is, well, they already can do up to 80 bytes right now of data storage in the op return. And if they want to do more, they can work around it. And their workaround right now is actually like you're storing, for example, this is all because of BitVM. They wanted to store, let's say, 100 bytes. And they were able to store 80 bytes in the op return, which is the limit. Then they had to push the other 20 bytes somewhere else, and they pushed it into like this what is it called, the P2TR outputs, right? So but that area actually creates a larger UTXO set, which bloats the UTXO, which is exactly what they're talking about. They don't want done, right?
Yeah.
And they're also talking, and then their argument is like, oh, JPEGs on Bitcoin. And I'm like, the ordinal people aren't going to use that because it's 4 times more expensive to store JPEGs in the op return than the witness data. It's our witness data is the discount, and maxis hate that, like it's discounted, but it is what it is. They're not going to change that. So it's not going to increase like JPEGs on Bitcoin or anything. If anything, what we'll do is make it more efficient for builders that are actually building stuff like Citria that uses BitVM to store their data in one place, so they can have it all together organized instead of creating this unnecessary UTXO bloat, which we already know like the inscriptions can do that, right? But it is what it is. Everybody accepts that.
Yeah, it's already done. It's already happened, right? It's already, but they don't want to add more. But this is going to be a fight to the end here. They basically denied us OpCat. I mean, we're in May here. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, right? So it's kind of like, what else can we do? And BitVM is like, we have this awesome virtual machine that we want to put on Bitcoin, and we can without any updates, anything really. Just this one limit. We can still do it without you guys changing anything, but it would benefit Bitcoin if we made this tiny little change that doesn't really mess up anything else. We're not asking for OpCat anymore. Now we're asking to get rid of this limit. So my question for you is, will this make ordinals cheaper to inscribe, more expensive to inscribe, or basically the same? There's no change for people that are just like ordinals and runes users.
No change for ordinals users because they're going to still use the witness data, which is the same price and then the same discounted fee, obviously according to what the mempool looks like, right? But the change actually could be a positive change for Rune's protocol, right? Because now they have more, if you take the limits off, now they don't have to stay within that 80 byte limit. And now Casey and Raf can actually say, okay, well, let's see what else we can do here, in this area. But also it benefits further infrastructure, right? Like in the BitVM, it's not gonna, the BitVM doesn't live like on chain, right? Like there's going to be off-chain transactions, but that's okay. Cardano does that, right? So, but it does do a lot on chain. This is more for like the infrastructure of their applications that they're going to have integrated with BitVM. And so I think this is exciting because, I mean, Peter Todd is obviously like someone that's big within Bitcoin. He's been around forever. Some people say they think he's Satoshi. Everybody has their own opinions on that. But I think there's starting to be a split now between Peter Todd and then you have like Samson Mao, which I don't know, he's annoying to me. And then you have Adam Back, which seem to be on the same side. And then Samson Mao came in and he's like, okay, so there's gonna be war. But look, Peter Todd's the core dev here, and he put the PR through. Yeah. I don't know. I think it goes through.
Yeah, 100%. I think it does get through. I think this is going to be the maxi saying, fine, just have this little win. Just leave us alone about the OpCat shit. Like, I feel like that's gonna, because OpCat opens up a whole new world for the maxis. They're not gonna like the way that MEV is done if they put OpCat in there. But we will see. We will see. My guy. I say a comment here. Myself says an approval on that Doge stimmy would send the markets flying. He's talking about the $5,000 to every single citizen. So that would be massive, right? I mean, that would be absolutely huge. Danny Boy says, and Wolves in 5. BTC is up. It's a good day. It's a good day to be Danny Boy today, guys. It's a good day to be Danny Boy.
Yes. Congrats, Danny. I'm actually rooting for the Wolves now. Congrats.
Yeah, I love that team. That's a really good team. Didn't you go Bear? You say had like. He's on the Wolves, right?
27.
No. He's 27
Yeah,
points.
he's on the Wolves. Yeah.
Damn.
He's the reason why they won last night, honestly.
And he's a defensive player, right? You consider him like a guy who gets 20 rebounds, not 20 points. So yeah, pretty big. All right, let's do some runes market update. You want to check out some runes and some ordinals?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You see the Magic Eden's new thing here? It's actually really cool. Bitcoin
Their
NFT
chart.
and yeah. So we hit sales wise on the 7-day. This chart is like a little nuts though. What's this even mean? Okay, this is Bitcoin. Okay, this is the amount of Bitcoin. So it looks like over the course of 7 days, we had on April 29th, we had about 3,300 sales. Okay, this is sales. And now we're at about 1,200 sales. So yeah, it's pretty different. I guess you can see them for everything now. Yeah, you change that and you can kind of see. Oh, because this is good. You can kind of actually check around a lot of NFTs and kind of seeing how they're doing. How the abstract NFTs doing? I was in this bearish. Ooh, they're kind of down. Yeah, man. But let's go back to Bitcoin and kind of look at some ordinals here. Node Monkeys sitting at 0.035, Taproot Wizards at 0.14, Puppets at 0.032, Punks 0.059, and the Ordinal Maxi Biz at 0.22. Does any of this surprise you? How are you feeling about ordinals right now? Are you potentially looking to pick some of these up? How are you feeling about these prices?
I think this is still really good opportunity here, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but I think that people are focused on fungibles right now, and I think that they're waiting for these runes to pop off and alts in different ecosystems. I don't think they're paying too much attention to NFTs or ordinals at this moment.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're gonna. This is a cheap probably market for them, but I think that like if we get let's say we get dog to like a new all-time high, Bitcoin, like let's say we're in late May, Bitcoin's at like 115, 120, dog sitting at like 1.2 billion, something like that, right? Eventually what's going to happen is once Bitcoin calms down, maybe another little aggressive run up for runes, and then that will trickle down into the ordinals. We've seen it in our ecosystem. It happens. It's a rotation of fungibles, non-fungibles. And so that's why I think that they're probably like close, if not, I think they're close to like the lowest that they'll be here, and I think this is probably the lowest that we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is a perfect buying opportunity. No one's paying attention to runes. And when I was talking to Connor on Chain last week, the one thing he said he looks to get in markets that no one's paying attention to, and that's ordinals right here, right? Everyone's kind of looking at runes right now, and not really ordinals. So that could be the play right now if you want to be early to something. Whoa! I just clicked. What the hell just happened?
I think you clicked on that chart or something, right?
And it sent me a slingshot.
What do you mean?
Like I went to the trade, right? And I went to the runes.
I think you accidentally.
I might have clicked tokens. Yeah. All right, let's go to the 7-day. Let's put the badge on. Let's go volume here. And then King Dog, a 54% on the week, man. Dog is running. Oh, it's back under 300 million at 298, but still very strong. And then you got Billy, $1 billion cat sitting at 30. What's this called? BTC before? I guess they got the ticker Billy now.
Yeah, they got the ticker Billy, but there is that other Billy dog on I think it's Solana or something. But this is gonna be the Billy, I guarantee you, because this is, in my opinion, Billy's just the biggest upside out of the top ones, man. There's just you got Bongo, you got like a bunch of people right now in Dubai having Billy glasses everywhere. It's just so marketable. But look, there's some other ones that are blue chips too. I just can't wait till Runes has this like extremely explosive moment, because I do think it's coming, guys.
Right now, do you see Billy passing Pups? I mean, you're seeing it in volume, right? But what about market cap? You got Pups sitting at 24 million, which is insane. This thing was like, this thing hit like insane numbers, but now sitting at 24 million, you're seeing Billy at 19. Can Billy pass Pups in market cap?
Yes, it can. It can pass it. I actually I'll have DMs back and forth with the Billy account sometimes, and so just to get clarity, they do own the IP, so we can't buy that.
Oh, do they?
But,
oh man,
yeah, they own that, which is smart. I mean, I knew they did, but like they got some plans, is what it seems like. Don't take that. That is speculation still, like until they actually do something. But I think they are going to try to run that like IP playbook, the Luca Nets type of playbook. But we'll see. Tariffs probably not the best thing to happen for that right now, because if they're trying to get merch and stuff like that. But
yeah, I know.
I just can see Billy just being such a strong brand. But anyways, answer your question, yes, I do think it can pass Pups. But Pups will have it as it's aggressive. They have a lot of support too.
You can avoid tariffs with digital assets, can't you? If you tokenize it, like there's no tariff on a tokenized asset.
No. So, but they want to they want to create merch and have it in possibly like Target or something. You know what I mean? That type of IP play that like Pudgy's had, right? And to be able to have merch is tough because
create it in the US. There's just create it in the US. So you use a US manufacturer and that problem solved. But we will see. All right, so Magic Internet Money getting wrecked this week, down 18%. How do you feel about Magic Internet Money sitting at 53 million sitting here? It's looking like it was at like 30 million, so it did have a huge upward momentum. Let's look at it on the 30-day. So it's probably still up on the 30-day. Yeah, it's still up a lot on the 30-day. It's up 71% on 30. So it is still doing pretty good, but it did have a crappy week there for Magic Internet Money.
I think there's a lot of whales that already held Wizard and came over and have the support. So I think some of the whales are going back and forth. I think that it's going to have some success once everything really starts to run. I do think it's going to be one of the top ones. But I could be wrong about that. And, it could just be, some people dumping, like once it does get to like 100 or something. You never know what some of these people that are behind these tokens and whale groups and stuff like that. But I think from like a blue chip perspective, I see like Dog, obviously that top dog, right? And then you have like Pups, Billy, Magic Internet Money. We've talked about these before. And then you have some lower hanging fruit like Bro Bear, which is actually down a little bit right now. And then Gizmo as well. So there's a lot of opportunity runes as well. What's going to be that big catalyst for runes though, right? Because we know that Magic Eden, we actually kind of know that there's a little bit of a delay, but with the slingshot thing. But what is that experience going to be like? Because if it's anything different than how you can buy Solana tokens on slingshot, it's not going to work. And you got to at least start with the top tokens to be able to match that type of experience. Dog, $1 billion cat, Magic Internet Money, Pups. Those ones have to be in and out, no matter what, kind of situation with slingshot. And so we're kind of waiting on that. And then the second kind of catalyst that could be bigger than that would be Arch Networks launch with Saturn. And you've been messing with that. And you said that the experience has been amazing the past couple of days, right?
Yeah, dude. This week I checked it again this morning. It is moving. It's very quick. I tried to break it. I did like 36 transactions back to back and no issues. That's the first time that I've been able to do that. I got I think my all-time high previously was like 14 or 13. I got over 30 transactions without any failure. The 30th transaction did fail, but I think I was just being a dick with my wallet. It probably was just like something I did personally, but yeah, it's looking really, really, really good. So
yeah.
All right. Exciting. Yeah. How's Bitcoin doing? I see you have the chart up. Is it moving?
No, it's kind of just stabilizing here. We're back right above 97K. So like right at 97,000, but not shocked. You got to understand like how big we just came back up from 90, pretty much 95.8 to hitting that 97.5. So we're just kind of, seesawing a little bit here.
Yeah, man. How's our guy, Mr. Yen, doing? Yen sitting around 200K. Is that right? 200K market cap?
Yeah, it is. It is. So that's going to be,
wow.
Yeah, that's also going to be an interesting situation because, Runes, they had a couple, mini like energetic seasons, right? Whether that was like October, November, December last year, and tokens like Mr. Yin that had really good mimetic culture and people behind it did well, but then it never got crazy market cap. I think maybe it got to like 2 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like faded off. Do those type of tokens pick back up, or do they just kind of get discarded? that's going to be a very interesting thing to see. I think some of them do get discarded and they lost their communities and the people behind them. Some of them possibly will run back up because, you know, something like Wanko Manko or, you know, Anarcho Cat Buzz, something that's related to Casey could get going again, you know, just because he was the creator behind Runes. But nevertheless, I think that there is this excitement around Runes because people have been investing in infrastructure applications that are going to be supporting them, and you have like Runes everywhere in different chains, different environments. And what does that look like in a bull run, right? That's going to be the big question. Does it play out? Does it play out how we think it will?
Yeah, I agree, and only time will tell. How are you feeling about the utility runes? They really haven't moved. Liquidity sitting here at 14 million. You have Fluid, right? What other, I guess RSM can be considered a utility rune, which actually has moved. Is there any other rune would you consider utility rune besides like what Emblem Vault is building with the keys that won't be launching until September?
No, and I actually wouldn't consider. I mean, like RSM to me is just like that like
a meme coin.
I mean, it's not anything proven that they're like have a platform or anything, but like Fluid and Liquidium both have. You know, they both have platforms. They're both earning right now. So to me, those are solid for sure utility tokens. But I don't think there's anything else like in the Magic Eden marketplace that is like that, you know. So it would be just
Fluid.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any sales, but definitely check out, guys. All right, what's the price here? So the price for Fluid right now is around 18 million. How much is each token? So each token is around 18 cents. Yeah, I think that's very similar to what it is over on MimSwap or Cardano. Yeah. So yeah. Any buys on these?
Probably not yet. I imagine because it's pretty. There's some.
Well, no, these are buy and sell orders. I don't know.
There should be an activity. There should be an activity.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so that's why it was only 2. So there was a buy 10 days ago and a sell 2 days ago. Wow, this guy sold for 9 cents. What an opportunity. Yeah, please list your Fluid for 9 cents. That would be, I would love it. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing Fluid's going to add a liquidity pool to RuneStacks or DATSwap. They're not sure which one yet, but I think when it does, that's really going to catapult Fluid, especially on something like Sats Terminal, which definitely want you guys to check out. Let's actually take a look at Sats Terminal for anyone who doesn't like the Magic Eden experience. Are you someone who likes the Magic Eden experience? Because I hate buying stuff like that.
No, that's the whole reason why. Like we've been like waiting for Slingshot, but you don't have to wait because you have Sats Terminal now, which you know is an aggregator. So like you're going to be able to find the cheapest price, but you're going to be able to swap it, right? So they're just really starting to blow up in terms of other projects wanting to work with them, so
yeah, man, for sure. And you guys can make sure you guys are getting let me connect my wallet real quick. Make sure you guys are connecting your wallet to this, and if you do any Runes trades, I highly recommend you guys do them here because you guys can earn Amber, and with that Amber, we all know what happens. But normally with points, it's usually an airdrop, and this is a token that I highly recommend everyone try and farm the Sats Terminal thing. So where is my Amber? There it is. I have 1,030 Amber just for signing up. You get 1,000 Amber off the bat. Highly recommend everyone get at least 1,000 Amber. This is something that you guys want to do. I didn't even think about that. I haven't even started farming this yet. It's probably a really good idea to start locking up all my wallets and getting at least connecting them and maybe doing a trade or two. That way I can lock in some of that Amber. But yeah, guys, Danny, make sure you're doing this. Kevin B, make sure you're coming over to Sats Terminal, guys. And maybe we should wait for our link, right? We're going to have everyone kind of pushing this one. Definitely check out everything here at satsterminal.com. And I think that wraps up our show, guys. We really appreciate it. We got 214 people here. We know a lot of you guys are in Dubai. living large over there. We hear it's absolutely a great time. So if you're in Dubai, thank you for watching, and all 214 of you guys on YouTube and X. It's not including everyone on Abstract, everyone on Twitch, and everyone on Rumble and Spotify later. Appreciate every single one of you guys every single day.
Absolutely. And myself says I'm stacking Satoshi Nakamoto, high holders, low cap, Rune 6, might pump, might not. Yeah, actually, I think that's a sleeper, 100%. It's an early one. I still have my Fehu. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers on that one. It was Rune number 1. I don't know how you can fumble that. But anyhow, we thank you guys so much for showing up. Every day you guys show up, not just us. You show up with us, and that means a ton. So we thank you guys for that. If you could check out our partners, because they are kind of the second half of what allows us to do what we do every day, we would greatly appreciate it. Merlin Chain is the scaling solution for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets and protocols. So if you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1, you want to scale your protocol, build on Merlin Chain because they have great builder support. We have walked some of our partners through that process. It's an amazing process. Also, they have their AI wizard that's going to be available, the 0.3 version soon. It's going to help you navigate through the chain. And also, don't forget, they just got added to the fraternity of DAO for Wrap Bitcoin. So that's going to be huge for the brand there. Also, if you have Merlin Chain tokens, and you want to participate in securing the chain, for right now, they're doing the proof of stake. You can actually stake your Merlin Chain tokens and earn 15% APR. So make sure you go over to merlinchain.io to learn more. Also, you can swap for Doggo to the Moon because they have a good liquidity pool on merlinswap.org. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. These guys, once they have everything rolled out, it's going to be amazing. We've been able to see behind the curtain. You guys haven't been able to see what we've seen, but we have seen it, and it's really, really cool, fun. But all you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks for now, and you can start placing bets in their markets. They have their Blitz markets, which is a 10-minute kind of up or down perps experience, but only lasts for 10 minutes. So you got to lock in that price and see what you want to do with Bitcoin, BNB, and Solana. Go sign up for an account. You automatically get a certain amount of points. I think 50 points for their future airdrop. Just go to betbtc.win to learn more there. And then Emblem Vault, they are going to be the interoperability tool for Ordinals, Bitcoin Layer 1. You're going to be able to jump your Ordinals, your puppets, your node monks, your quantum cats, whatever you want from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Abstract, Merlin Chain, Base, and eventually Solana as well. They have an amazing AI agent Hustle that's going to be able to assist you guys. You can use Hustle right now to really trade on Solana. Conditional trades coming very soon. Helps you kind of find some alpha for pump fund tokens as well. Really cool experience. As well as their TGE for their Runes token that's going to be coming out in September of this year. You can actually participate right now in OpenSea. If you go to OpenSea and search Emblem Founder Vaults, you can see the ERC 721 NFT, which is a pre-sale version of that. And once we get to September of this year, you're going to be getting instructions on how to get the runes in your wallet. You can learn all about that and more at emblem.vision. And Artura Finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin assets, fungibles, sats, Ordi, Doggo to the Moon, $1 billion cat, and then also stuff that's popular like XRP, Tau, tokens outside the ecosystem. You can actually add liquidity to earn passively there as well. But they have a new kind of education series that they've partnered with us on. So you can go to our channel and check out some trader spotlights to, just get a feel of what it's like, some tips and tricks of, experienced traders there. But they're going to be launching on Hemi Layer 2 mainnet very, very soon, which is backed by Binance. So big platform there, as well as their Botonics is going to be around the same time too. So really exciting stuff. You can visit artura.finance to see how you can get started. And then Fluid tokens are the UTXO wizard devs. We talked about Fluid earlier, but they are constantly building on Bitcoin. They will have an airdrop tool ready very soon, easy to use for runes. But they have their staking vaults on for Bitcoin Layer 1 for founders and community members. If you are an Ordinals collection founder or you etched a rune and you have an established community, head to their Discord and they will show you how to get signed up for a staking vault. Pretty soon they're going to have their Aquarium application that allows you to bridge from Bitcoin to Cardano and vice versa. And you're going to be able to do that with their FLDT token too. So they're going to have liquidity on, and a swap within that bridge as well. So really exciting stuff there. Go to fluidtokens.com to learn how you can get started as a founder with them, or if you're just interested in their project, you can learn more there. And our latest partner is Tokyo Wallet, which is a smart wallet. These guys have an amazing tech stack with their wallet. You're going to be able to use Apple Pay, Google Pay to onboard with Bitcoin, and then you can swap runes directly on their wallet, which is awesome because the experience is really made to make it as easy as possible for you guys. But they did partner with Sats Terminal, so that swapping is going to be very seamless there. You can swap for dog directly on the wallet as well. You can find us on there actually because they have an alpha section with YouTube videos, but some of the more popular, bigger YouTube channels are also there, like Cryptos RS as well. So make sure you guys go to Apple Store or Google Play Store, download the wallet, give us some feedback, let us know how you feel about it. Exciting stuff from Tokyo Wallet. Lastly, the integrated partners is Foxy AI and Ordinal Hive. Foxy is building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker, which we live stream every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Anybody's can play. Everybody's invited. All you need is a supported wallet, which is any Bitcoin wallet and Phantom, and I believe MetaMask as well. And you can play with us and join our team. Or join another team and try to go up against us. I'm telling you right now that you're probably going to get me many times because I need a lot of practice. And Ordinal Hive is your aggregator, Ordinal marketplace, cheapest Ordinals around you're going to find on Ordinal Hive. And don't forget to take advantage of their trader mempool tools where you can snag a Ordinal or runes in the mempool in case someone accidentally mispriced them. We thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. We might have to start splitting that up for you. I feel bad you got to jump through that. Maybe we'll do half and half or something.
A marathon.
We'll talk about that. For sure. You do a great job, man. Absolutely amazing job. Shout out to Danny Boys. Thanks, guys. You show up every day. We don't miss for you, Danny. We don't miss for you, buddy. We're kind of like your boy Anthony Edwards, man. We just don't miss. But shout out to Danny Boy. Let's jump in if you guys don't mind and have a few extra minutes checking out our website. That is OnChain Revolution.io. We have some of the best articles, guys. Articles dating all the way back to 2023. Yes, we were making articles all the way back then. Guys, if you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. You can actually access the podcast right from here as well. So definitely check out everything there. And if you guys need a VPN, get a VPN. If it's not Nord, get another one. I highly recommend Nord. I just actually signed up for a second account for a different computer because I was maxing out on all my browsers over here, so I need another one. But definitely, you guys definitely want to go check out Nord. It's really cheap. It's like $3 a month. I'm probably going to get a second account, like I said, just for other computer. You can, if you have multiple computers, you can, but it only supports up to 3. I have every computer in my house on Nord because that's just smart. Even my kids, they got Nord on their iPads and stuff like that. Everyone should have Nord, guys. You do not want anything. And as a Bitcoiner, I don't want to give anyone my IP anywhere. So I use Nord, but definitely check that out. $33 for the year, I think it is. Check that out. 70% off coupon. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But guys, if you wait any longer, don't even go. These are about to 2-3x in price. Don't be stupid. Get them today. Get them tomorrow. Be very quick with it, guys. Don't wait till Friday, which is tomorrow. So they're probably going to go up tomorrow now that I think about it. But get them today. And Friday's the day they usually go up. So if they go up tomorrow, I don't know. But get your tickets. Get them today. We do hear that the Dubai conference was absolutely insane, overbooked. So they can get away with selling tickets for anything they want. But definitely check out the tickets here. If you do buy, use our link, guys. It helps the show. And if you guys are interested in merch, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto, not just Bitcoins. Check everything out here at our store tab, all done through our Shopify. And you guys can get shirts, hats, hoodies, and so much more. This shirt right here, OnChain Revolution, it's going away, guys. It'll never exist again. You'll never be able to buy it from us anyway, any official shirt. So definitely, if you're interested in getting that, you will be considered an OG. I know my man, Mr. Shizzy, has one. Mr. Shizzy is considered an OG. So, I think we're taking it off this weekend. So definitely look out for that. And shout out to all you guys, man. We really appreciate you guys checking out our stuff here. And remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow,
peace.
OnChain, 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 OnChain. OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin controlling. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and arching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.